to discuss the aftermath of Israeli strikes in Qatar and their impact on Gaza truce. Well, Rubio has said that President Trump was unhappy about the attacks, though Netanyahu insisted U.S.-Israeli relations remain strong. Meanwhile, an Arab Islamic summit in Doha is moving to condemn the strikes, with Iran urging Muslim states to cut ties with Israel. Let's in fact listen in to what the Iranian president had to say.
و یک سری اقدامات عملی بتونیم با همدیگه اگه وحدت داشته باشیم در رابطه با مسائل اقتصادی، فرهنگی، اجتماعی، ارتباطی میشه انجام داد. میشه کشورهای اسلامی ارتباطات خودشون رو با این رژیم جعلی در حقیقت قطع کنن و تا جایی که ممکن.
Ahead of the summit, Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani affirmed that Israel's recent attack on Doha would not hinder Qatar, Egypt and the US from continuing mediation efforts to end the Gaza conflict. Let's in fact listen in to what the Qatari Prime Minister had to say.
وبالتالي فإن هذا العدوان لن يؤدي إلا إلى إجهاض محاولات التهدئة، ويؤكد نوايا الحكومة الإسرائيلية برفض المسارات السلمية لإنهاء القضية الفلسطينية والاستمرار في تحدي الإرادة الدولية وميثاق الأمم المتحدة، وهو ما يتضح من تصريحات المسؤولين الإسرائيليين المتكررة بشأن ضم الأراضي الفلسطينية وأوهام إسرائيل الكبرى. الممارسات الإسرائيلية الغوغائية والهمجية لن تثنينا عن مواصلة بذل الجهود المخلصة مع جمهورية مصر العربية والولايات المتحدة لوقف هذه الحرب الظالمة. قطر لن تتهاون مع أي اختراق لسيادتها أو تهديد لأمنها الوطني، فالسيادة القطرية مسألة لا يمكن التجاوز عنها أو التجاوز فيها، وإننا سنواجه أي تهديد لنا بكل الوسائل التي يكفلها القانون الدولي.
On the other hand, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza has deepened. Israel bombed the Al-Jundi Al-Majhul Tower on Sunday, displacing dozens of families. Israel says the building hid Hamas infrastructure, while officials report at least 30 residential blocks destroyed and thousands forced from their homes. Let's in fact listen in to the survivors.
احنا صرنا سنتين، الشهر الجاي صرنا سنتين، فيش حدا يعني انه حلنا، حتى امريكا مش واقفه معنا، على الشاشه شكل وتحت الكواليس حاجه ثانيه، ايش بدك تعمل؟ قلنا لرب العالمين هو اللي حيقف معنا فقط لا غير.
حوالي الساعه تقريبا 7 ل 10 اعطونا تقريبا نص ساعه للاخلاء، ويا دوب يعني ما فيش وقت، خلينا اللي نقدر منه من الملابس والاثاث والهذا، وبعدها تم تفجير البرج بالكامل زي ما انت شايف.
Peter Baum, foreign editor, Weekly Blitz, is joining us live from London on this story. Peter, thank you for being with us today on NewsX World. What do you make of this visit by Marco Rubio to Israel amongst concern and amongst, of course, ripples still being felt of that strike that Israel had launched in Qatar?
Yes. I think the visit of Rubio actually cements the Israeli-US relationship. The strike on Qatar must have been undertaken with the full knowledge of the US government, despite the rhetoric coming out that Israel acted unilaterally. It does not make sense to any military observer or analyst that the Americans were not aware of this strike in Doha. Moreover, Israel had to use the airspace of either Saudi Arabia and Iraq, and certainly with Jordan, and to fly 15 jets over that airspace also indicates to me that certain Arab countries are aware. Now, in much of the media, it has been reported that Donald Trump is very unhappy with the way the Israelis conducted the strike, and he may well be. I don't think he is, but that's the story that the media is pushing out, and he has said that himself. But the fact that Rubio has gone to Israel and there has been no more damaging statements from the senior members of the White House administration indicates to me that the Americans knew about it, were on side, are actually pleased it was undertaken, but have to express some kind of negativity in order to ensure that their relations with the friendlier Arab states is not severely damaged. That's my reading of the situation.
Also, Peter, what kind of impact is it going to have on truce efforts as well, on mediation efforts as well? Qatar so far says it's undeterred, but do you believe somewhere this will hamper mediation efforts being hosted there?
The mediation efforts, if we're realistic about it, Uday, the mediation efforts have gone nowhere. There hasn't been a hostage release for months now, and every time that there is some hope that the Qataris bring Hamas to the table, the hopes are dashed within days. So Qatar's efforts as a mediator on this particular issue, they're not acting as an impartial actor. They are very pro-Hamas, as we know. They're very anti-Netanyahu, as we know. So their efforts really, I think, have come to an end. And I'm hoping, and I think this is where Egypt is positioning themselves in terms for global perspective and to enhance their authority within the Islamic world. I think Egypt may well take over the role that Qatar has unsuccessfully tried to achieve.
Okay, let me leave it at that. Peter Baum, with you. Thank you very much for joining us. South